Hello student, so this is Ambrose, your chemistry master. So in this session we are going to discuss basic concepts of chemistry and chemical calculations. So this is a chapter from 11th standard book, and you practice well, surely you will get good mark in this chapter. First let us discuss, so what is matter? So anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter. So matter is defined as anything that has mass and occupies space. Anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter. And matter can be classified into two categories: physical classification. One is physical classification, another one is chemical classification. Physical classification, another one is chemical classification. So two methods, physical and chemical. So that physical classification is further categorized into three. One is solid, another one is liquid, and another one is gas. Example for solid, you can say ice is an example for solid, and liquid water is an example for liquid, and water vapor as an example for gas. Regarding chemical classification, we have two types of chemical classification. One is mixture, another one is mixture, another one is pure substance. So what are mixtures? Mixture contains more than one entity without any chemical interaction in it. Mixture contains more than one entity, it contains more than one entity without being interaction. That is what we call it as mixture. And that mixture we further classified into homogeneous mixture, another one is heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture, example green tea, and heterogeneous mixture, oil and water. And pure substance. So what are pure substance? Pure substance contains either element or compounds, or elements or molecules in it. And that pure substance is further classified into elements and compounds. Example for element is copper, and example for compound is copper sulfate. What are elements? Elements contains one type of atom in it. Element contains only one type of atom in it. Compound is a mixture of two or more elements present in it. Mixture of two or more elements present in it. So example for element is copper, example for compound is copper sulfate. And what are the difference between the elements and the compound? Elements have entirely different properties than the compounds. For example, if you consider sodium is a shiny metal, it's a shiny metal, and chlorine is a irritating gas. So sodium is a shiny metal while chlorine is a irritating gas. But so these are all example for elements. If sodium and chlorine mix together, we get compound NaCl. That NaCl is a compound having entirely different properties than their constituent atoms or constituent ions. That is, NaCl is a crystalline solid. NaCl is a crystalline solid, but the sodium is a shiny metal and chlorine is a irritating gas. So why I am saying here is, elements and compounds have entirely different properties. Then, so I am giving a question. By applying the knowledge of chemical classification, classify each of the following into elements, compounds or mixtures. By applying the knowledge of chemical classification, classify each of the following into elements, compounds or mixture. Let me give you elements, compounds or mixture. Classify the elements, compounds and the mixture. Sugar, is it compound or mixture or element? Sugar is a compound. What about seawater? Seawater is a mixture. Distilled water is a compound. Carbon dioxide is also compound. Copper wire, it's an element. Copper wire is an element. Table salt is a compound. Table salt is a compound. Silver plate is an element, right? Silver plate is an element. Naphthalene ball, it's a compound. So we can classify like this, whether sugar is a element or compound or mixture. So you may be asked in the examination like these questions also regarding this. The next concept we are going to discuss is atomic and molecular masses. We are going to discuss atomic and molecular masses. You know what is meant by an atom? Atom is the smallest tiny particle that cannot be further divided, but it contains subatomic particles like electron, proton, neutron and so on. The fundamental particle by which the atom is made is electron, proton, neutron. So atom is a smallest tiny particles made up of electron, proton, neutron. Can you give the diameter of atom? Atom has a diameter 10 power minus 10 meter. The diameter of atom is 10 power minus 10 meter. This is a diameter. And the weight of atom is 10 power minus 27 kilogram. 10 power minus 27 kilogram. Can you weigh this weight? Student, can you weigh this weight? And can you measure this diameter by using simple method, it is difficult to either measure or to weigh the atom diameter as well as the weight of the atom. For that, we are using some standard atom. For that, we are using standard atom. So, why do we use standard atom? It is not possible to weigh such a very small weight and very small diameter of atom by normal measuring techniques, and hence so we are in need of standard atom. That standard atom is proposed by IUPAC, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, suggesting a standard atom to measure the weight of the atom as well as the diameter of the atom. By using this relative atom, we can measure easily the weight of the atom as well as the diameter of the atom. So, which is used as a standard atom. As per the IUPAC suggestion, carbon 12 is used as the standard atom. Carbon 12 is used as the standard atom as per IUPAC. IUPAC says that carbon 12 can be used as standard atom. So, which is used as standard atom? Carbon 12 is used as standard atom. The weight of the carbon 12 atom is 12.00 AMU. 12 AMU. 12 AMU is the weight of carbon. 12 AMU is the weight of carbon. So, this AMU is nothing but AMU, otherwise also known as atomic mass unit, which is also known as unified atomic mass unit. AMU or unified atomic mass unit is equal to 1/12th mass of 1/12th mass of carbon 12 atom. So, define AMU or unified atomic mass unit: 1/12th mass of carbon 12 isotope. 1/12th mass of carbon 12 isotope is known as unified atomic mass or atomic mass unit. Unified atomic mass or atomic mass unit is defined as the 1/12th mass of carbon 12 isotope. And this 1/12th mass of carbon 12 isotope, which is equal to 1.6605 into 10 power minus 27 kilogram. 1/12th mass of carbon 12 isotope is equal to 1.6605 into 10 power minus 27 kilogram. 1 AMU is equal to Now 1.6605 into 10 power minus 27 kilogram. By using this standard value, we can calculate average atomic mass. The relative average atomic mass can be calculated as, this is relative average atomic mass. Relative average atomic mass is nothing but average atomic mass, ratio of average atomic mass, average atomic mass divided by unified atomic mass. So relative average atomic mass AR is equal to ratio of average atomic mass to the unified atomic mass. Now you know unified atomic mass is 1.6605 into 10 power minus 27 kilogram. For example, consider relative average atomic mass for hydrogen. Relative average atomic mass for hydrogen. Average atomic mass of hydrogen is 1.6736 into 10 power minus 27 kilogram divided by 1.6605 into 10 power minus 27 kilogram. If you cancel this, you will get here 1.0078 or approximately equal to 1.008. So this is the value. This is the unified atomic mass or relative atomic mass of hydrogen. So what is the relative atomic mass of hydrogen? 1.008U. In similar way, we can calculate the relative atomic mass for various elements. You know very well, elements are occurring as their isotopes. If they occur as isotopes, their average atomic mass is calculated by average of atomic masses of all the atoms present in the isotopes. For example, if you consider chlorine 1737 and chlorine 1735 or in the ratio of 77 and 23 ratio, if they are in the ratio, then so we can easily calculate the average atomic mass, because most of the elements occur as their isotopes. As most of the elements occur as their isotopes, we can use the average atomic mass. That average atomic mass is calculated by taking average of atomic masses of all the atoms present in the isotopic mixture. So how do we take this one? Here chlorine 37 is present in 77% and chlorine 35 is present as 23%. Their abundance is 73. 37 is abundance 77% and 35 is abundance 23, and which is divided by 100 in order to get the relative average atomic mass of chlorine, which will give you 35.45 unified atomic mass. So from this method we can easily calculate the relative average atomic mass values given here. For hydrogen it is 1.008. For hydrogen it is 1.008, and for carbon 12, and for nitrogen 14, for nitrogen 14, and for oxygen 16, and for sodium 23, and for magnesium 24.3, and for sulfur 32.07, for chlorine 35.45, and for potassium 39.1, for calcium 40.08, for chromium 51.99, and for manganese 54.94, for iron 55.85, and for copper 63.55. So these are all the relative atomic mass value which can be calculated by the method which I explained you. And this value you remember to calculate the average atomic mass. So let us consider this question. The similar way we can calculate average atomic mass. Calculate average atomic mass. How can we calculate? The isotopic mass is given and their abundance is given, and you need to calculate average atomic mass. So average atomic mass, relative average atomic mass of magnesium can be calculated by this formula, divided by 100. Magnesium 23.99 into 78.99 plus magnesium 24.99 into 10 plus 25.98 into 11.01 . If you multiply this one, multiply in the add and divided by 100, you will get a relative average atomic mass of magnesium. The relative average atomic mass of magnesium can be calculated by this way, molecular mass. So what is molecular mass? Sum of masses of all the atom in a molecule is called molecular mass. What is molecular mass? Sum of masses of all the atom in a molecule is called molecular mass. For example, if you consider carbon dioxide, the sum of atomic masses of carbon and the atomic masses of oxygen will give you the molecular mass of carbon dioxide. That can be calculated in this way. You can consider like this. Now, how many oxygen atoms are there? 2. Each oxygen atom, the atomic mass value is given here. For oxygen, atomic mass is 16. For oxygen, atomic mass is 16. Each oxygen 16. 16 into 2, 32. Similarly, how many carbon atoms are there? Only one carbon atom. Each carbon is of 12 gram. So altogether it is 12. So you will get 44 U, unified atomic mass, or we can say it is 44 gram. Molecular mass of carbon is 44 U or 44 gram. Similarly, for water molecule, calculate. There is only one oxygen atom. Each oxygen is of 16 gram, which is equal to 16. And there are 2 hydrogen atoms. Each hydrogen is 1.008 U. So this is, we can write 2 point, this we can write it as 2.016. Then you add 61081. This is the weight of water. So molecular mass of water is, molecular mass of H2O is 18.016 U or 18.016 gram. Otherwise, in short, we can say 18 gram. One more example, let me give you HCl. So only one chlorine atom is there. So it is 35.45 and only one hydrogen is present, that is 1.008. From this we can calculate this is 35.45 and this is 1.008. So add 8, 5, 4, 6, 36. So this is the molecular mass of, this is the molecular mass of HCl. This is the molecular mass of HCl. Similarly, so you can calculate other molecules. So I am giving the question, calculate the relative molecular mass of the following: ethanol, potassium permanganate, potassium dichromate and sucrose. Shall we calculate? For ethanol, formula is C2H5OH. So it is given, and you cut short it, C2H6O. This is the molecular formula, and only one oxygen is there, no? Each oxygen is 16 gram, which is equal to 16, and only there are 6 hydrogen. You cut short it, 1 gram, 1.008 can be written as 1. 6 into 1, 6 gram. There are 2 carbon atom, each carbon is of 12 gram. So altogether it is 24. You will get how much? 6 remainder 1, 46 gram. The ethanol is 40, molecular mass of ethanol is molecular mass of ethanol is 46 gram. Potassium permanganate, molecular mass of potassium permanganate, 4 oxygen, 4 into 16, 64. Each manganese, for each manganese 54.94. Otherwise we can write it as 55, right? We round it off. So we will get 55, which is equal to 55. Each potassium is 39 gram. 39. So if you add, we'll get 9, 18, remainder 1, 12, 15, 158 gram. The weight of, molecular weight of KMnO4 is, molecular weight of KMnO4 is equal to 158 gram. Okay, can you understand, student? Third one, then for K2Cr2O7, fine, for potassium dichromate K2Cr2O7, how can we calculate? There are 7 oxygen, each oxygen is of 16 gram. 112. And chromium, 2 chromium is there. For each chromium 51.99. For each chromium 51.99. In short, we can write it as 52, right? So there are 52 into 2, 104. We will get 104. For potassium, each potassium 39 into 2, 78, right? 78. You add, you will get 14, remainder 1, 9, 294. 294 is the answer for potassium dichromate. Similarly for sucrose, C12H22O11. C12H22O11 for sucrose. There are 11 oxygen, each oxygen 16 gram. So 16 into 11, 61, you will get 6, 7, 176. You will get 176. And there are 22 hydrogen, each hydrogen of 1 gram, 22. There are 12 carbon, each carbon of 12 gram, 144 gram altogether. Now you add 12, remainder 1, 8, 10, 14, remainder 1, 342 gram. So this is the weight of molecular mass of sucrose. Molecular mass of sucrose. Now, so I give you a question to calculate the molecular mass. You are supposed to calculate the molecular mass. Calculate the molar mass of the following compound. What is the difference between the molecular mass and molar mass? Molecular mass is the sum of atomic masses of all the atoms present in the molecule. Whereas molar mass is we can write it as mass divided by mole. Ratio of mass to the mole is called as molar mass. Ratio of mass divided by mole. Ratio of mass to the mole is known as molar mass. Molar mass can be defined as mass per mole. Molar mass is defined as mass per mole. Okay, so this mass is nothing but molecular mass. This mass is molecular mass and divided by mole. So its unit is gram per mole. We can say gram per mole. Molar mass can be set as gram per mole. Molar mass is denoted by the symbol capital letter M and this one. So M is equal to capital letter M divided by N, or so from this we can calculate number of moles also. N is equal to M divided by M. N is equal to M divided by M. So these are all the way by which we can calculate the mole and mass and molar mass. So molar mass is nothing but mass per mole. Molar mass is nothing but mass per mole, while the molecular mass is the sum of atomic masses of all the atom in the molecule. So here you are asked to calculate molar mass of the compound. Some compounds have been given. First one, let us consider urea. Urea is, you know very well, NH2 C double bond O NH2. This is what we call it as urea. Then how many nitrogen, oxygen, you write it accordingly. Okay, only one carbon is there and only one oxygen is there and 4 hydrogen, 2 nitrogen are there. And you add, first you need to calculate the molecular mass, then we can calculate the molar mass easily. There are 2 nitrogen, 2 into 14, which is equal to 28, and 4 into 1, 4. Here 1 into 16, 16. Here 1 into 12 is equal to 12 gram. Altogether 10, 20, remainder 2, 4, 6, 60 gram. So here molar mass of urea is equal to M by N, right? M is 60 here divided by M, 60 gram, or otherwise we can write 60 gram per mole. 60 gram per mole. Molar mass of urea is 60 gram per mole. Similarly, we can calculate for acetone. You can calculate for acetone. How do we calculate acetone? For acetone it is CH3 C double bond O CH3. You write the molecular formula C3H6O is the molecular formula, right? Now for each oxygen 16 gram, how many hydrogens are there? There are 6 hydrogen atom. Each hydrogen is 1 gram, 6 gram, and there are 3 carbon atom. Each carbon atom have 12 gram. 3 into 12, 36. You will get 18. Remainder 1 and 58 gram. Right? Understood? Student understood? So this is what your M, molecular mass. The molar mass of acetone is equal to 58 gram per mole. Similarly, you need to calculate for boric acid. For boric acid, it is given H3BO3. For boric acid, H3BO3 is given. So 3 oxygen, only 1 boron and 3 hydrogen. So boron how much? So boron 11. So this is 48. This is 11. This is 3. So together you will get 12. Remainder 1, 62. So the molar mass of boric acid, which is equal to 62 gram per mole. So in this way you need to calculate the other one also. You do it at home. The sulfuric acid, you calculate the molar mass of sulfuric acid at home. Okay student, so in the next class we will be discussing mole and empirical and molecular formula.